Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to take another look at the H.265 on the Nikon ZR. You've been seeing a lot of videos out on the web of saying that the H.265 aren't good and that you should only be using the camera for Red RAW. Now, camera's priced at $2,200. It's less than a Z6 III, close to the Z5 II. And if you're a Nikon shooter or someone looking to come to Nikon for this camera, you're probably on the fence and trying to figure out, hey, what's the deal? I don't want to use Red RAW, Nikon RAW, ProRes RAW, or any of these codecs that are very large. I just want to stick with the basic HDR codec and record. You can do that. There are multiple picture profiles, or I should say picture controls, on the ZR that you can use to just set the camera to a mode that you prefer and just record.
Creation is coming alive. When I'm on vacay mode, be wondering every night. To keep my mind from work, need to go chill by a fire, drink some martini and talk about life. Ooh, doing my best to survive, but I need more. Mommy, I wish I could fly back and beg and go. I really don't mind living right now, so about to get on that plane soon. Don't care if it's to Mumbai or Cancun, as long as I'm high as a kite, hey. Yeah, I'll be good.
As a Nikon shooter who's been shooting for 20 plus years, photos and now videos, I've gotten used to the fact that the camera can get better quality if you shoot in NLog mode. Most of the creators and a lot of guys were talking about this stuff, probably from Sony, from what I've been seeing, and some people from Panasonic. It's a myriad of people who are looking at this thing and saying, hey, I love this camera, but it lacks this, or it doesn't do this, and so on. Not all of us are going to go down that road. Some of us are middle ground or just getting started and want something that can create good quality images without having to do any edits. If you're that person that's getting started and learn how to edit, I did have a video that I put out about how to edit NLog on Nikon cameras, and I'm going to do an updated version because I know some of the things have changed. So stay tuned for that one. But if you are, let's look at some footage and see what you can get.
Now I'ma put it down like that. I'm leaving, I ain't coming back. You don't like the way I act anyway. You really don't have to react. Don't try to change my mind, in fact. Honey, I've already packed all my stuff. We're no longer kids, let's move on. And you are not my kid, so I'm done. Please don't make me pull my gun. Sorry boy, I can't be the one. You know it, yeah. Nothing lasts forever. You know that a change will make it better. You know that nothing lasts forever. You know that, yeah, a change will make it better.
Before we begin, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to support the channel, there are links for items to purchase in the description area of each video. I can almost hear it. They're banging out with the keyboard, but it's not good in low light, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we can take a look at that too. And we'll start with some H.265 SDR footage. And also I'll include some NLog footage so you guys can see what that looks like. You may have noticed I also have some footage in there that I have overexposed, brought it back, just so you guys can see what that looks like if you're doing things at nighttime. Now, getting the exposure right the first time is always important. Sometimes you don't want to figure that out. I would say you can't quite figure that out. You may put it in auto ISO and let the camera figure it out, which is not too bad. But I feel that sometimes it pushes the ISO up too much. And if you are, delving into that realm of wanting to be a little bit more professional, you're going to shoot in manual mode. But if you're still shooting auto mode, you can do that and you can get good quality images out of the camera. If you remember inside the last clips, you will notice that some of them were also in NRAW. And you see some of them were like throughout the whole clip, there were 12,800 ISO and there were 6,400 ISO. And if there's any that I changed or adjusted, there are notes on them so you can see what the difference is and how they look. So that's to say that yes, you can do some edits and you can bring back some shadows as long as you haven't blown out the highlights or blown out the shadows. Get the exposure close and you're good to go. Now, I want to know if you guys have any questions, anything else you want to see about the ZR, because I know, a lot of folks are out there getting started and they're kind of on the fence. Yes, I dabble in both. I did shoot with a Sony FX30 and a A7R5. I did learn to grade on the FX30 because I was bummed when I first got the camera and it was like, blah, as far as the colors were concerned. And I learned how to shoot in SLog 3 and then grade in SLog 3. The A7R5, the footage came out looking perfect. I say close to perfect. It's like the Z8, you don't really need to do much to it. And that led me back to the Z8. And I don't want to go too long about the whole process, but for me, Nikon colors come out of the camera looking much closer to being perfectly graded than the Sony cameras. That being said, whatever you prefer to shoot, that's up to you. And there are tons of different brands, Panasonic, Sony, Fuji, what am I forgetting, Canon, and there are a few other brands as well. But those are going to be like the main players. And if you're along one of those brands, you own one of them, I should say, you are going to notice that most of the videos you see from content creators who are, the bigger YouTube channels, they have grown from starting out, or some people came from the professional world and they come in and they start making YouTube videos. I'm not a fan of, just kind of dictating to people like, you must do this or you must have certain things, because I know everybody doesn't start at the same level. And I have to keep in mind that I started someplace, and while I may be a bit more advanced than others, I am not a professional. I'm not at the level of most other people up there, but I've learned enough to say that if I want to start a business, I probably could, but I'm retired. I don't really want to dive into that, but I want to help those who are coming up who want to learn about this stuff, or some of the folks that are older like me that are not trying to get into videos from photography. And I will say, while a lot of the guys who you've seen videos from are, other content creators, meaning Sony, Panasonic, Canon, we don't have too many Nikon creators that are out there talking about the camera that we know, we've used for years, and we understand more than the guys who are putting out videos that are new to it. So many videos I've seen, one of the concerns is the autofocus. How's the autofocus? But they're utilizing adapted lenses. And of course, an adapted lens is not going to work as well as a native Nikon lens. So if you're new and getting started, I would suggest you pick up at least one of the kit lenses, the 24-70 f4, the 51.4 and 35-1.4 to get started with. Even if you already own other lenses, you should get a Nikon ZR lens just to see what that's like. If you're on the other spectrum where you own manual focus lenses, then you can adapt that because you're dialing in the focus the way you want.
Left my doubts at home tonight. Me confidence can't come and take a bite. My skin, my hair, they shine so bright. Tonight's the night, it feels so right. Careless, fearless, standing tall. Limitless and powerful. Stronger than I've been before. I'm here to hit the dance floor. Baby, you don't know it took some time for me to feel right, for me to feel like I got my satin dress on, you know it. No one's gonna stop my dancing feet. I'm
So before I close out the video, I want to ask you guys a question. Which camera do you shoot with currently? Are you planning to get the ZR, or are you planning to get a different camera? Do you shoot Nikon cameras and need some more information about how to do better with video on Nikon? Put in the comments area. I'd love to hear from you guys. I've made a couple of videos about getting started with video on Nikon. You guys can check those out. But as I mentioned earlier on, I'm going to be doing an update because some things have changed from Nikon and how to get the best from the NRAW on the camera. Thanks everyone for watching the video. And as I close out, I'm going to give you guys some R3D footage just in case you want to push that level and you want to see what the camera can do. Here is some.
필요한 호생의 거품 울리는 대불이 후회는 젊음 제방에 두드면 동치 매밤 맞춰 the fake train 따르다가 중심을 잃어 널 잊게 만들게 이 시대의 리더 순수가 반지의 추세 사자가 반지의 현생 못 찾아 주정 넌 어디서 어제 말했던 수익자의 진심이라 뺐던 놈들 중에 건산도 없지 배매여가 너를 감아쳐 쓰게 던졌으니 금방 또 다음 날이 돼 금방 또 다음 해가 돼